Messier, and you're listening to Blueshirt
Underground Show,
the #1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in and find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers!
Blueshirt Underground, motherfucker!
TFBS Ranger fan, TFBS Ranger fan. This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York.
They don't know a right wing from a left wing, but they sure know chicken wings. Jim and Eddie.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Blueshirt Underground Show. Today is Tuesday. It is February the 21st. As always, my name is Jim, and I am joined by the one and only Eddie Geik. Eddie, good evening, sir. How are you?
Doing well. My wife's out of town, so I'm missing her, but, you know, we should be reunited like Peaches and Herb said soon. She's in Chicago visiting the family. Everybody says the same thing, Jim. Why don't you go? And I always respond, somebody's got to mind the cat.
Right. Somebody has to watch over the empire.
That's right. So I'm doing good. How about yourself? How's everyone doing out there in Rangerland?
We're doing well. I'm enjoying the warmer weather. Means spring is on the way.
Yeah, you're heading down to South Carolina.
Going down to South Carolina in 2 days. Yes, it's going to be 75 degrees every day. Yes. Yes, sir. So,
did you watch, did any of you guys catch that NBA All-Star game and the tip and trick contest, the slam dunks and all that? I didn't think so.
We went and grabbed a bite to eat today, and the NBA All-Star game was on the TV there, and I looked up at it, and I'm just, has anybody watched this sport? Unwatchable.
Well, apparently it is. The ratings are still higher than the NHL hockey, but not for us. We're here to talk about hockey. We're here to talk about Rangers.
See, Nick is here. What's going on, Nick? Chris, great Chris Johnert, Frankie Gallo, Mario Consiglio. I hope I said that right. Dom is here. Costa's here.
Standing room only.
Patty Duke, Howie Sussman.
SRO, as they say.
Jared Brett, George Brett's son is here.
Yeah.
Woo! Filing in, grabbing a drink, sitting down for a little honest, off-the-cuff New York Ranger talk.
Yes.
Although I did do some research for this show this week.
You did? Well, tell me about
and I have an interesting. Well, we'll drop it in a little while when we get around to talking about players. I have a little interesting statistic, or it may not be an interesting statistic, but I thought it was interesting, so I did the research, and I think you'll find the numbers fascinating.
Really? This is going to be about the number 8s and how many goals they've scored, or it's not going to be about who's the highest goal scorer from Calgary, born in Calgary, is it?
No.
Okay.
Like, I mean, sometimes those questions are ridiculous. Like, who the fuck
Mike Rogers.
Remember that Mike Rogers? How many Ranger fans watching that game, first of all, remember Mike Rogers? besides us and, half of our chat and half of our show watchers, because we're of an older generation. But come on. And who knows he's from Calgary?
I agree with you.
Calgary. It's the great Bernie Nichols called it.
Yes. I learned something last week when we reviewed that tape of that stick jabbing incident. We couldn't figure out the accent, and we thought it was a bit. And then, and then Kurt Chanel messaged us, or was on the page, and he said that's a Newfie accent, a Newfoundland accent.
Newfoundland.
Yeah, and I feel like as Americans, we're very as Americans, we're very what's the word I'm looking for? Like
douchey?
Yeah, that kind of. But like American
obnoxious?
No. We're like American centric. Like we just think we're the best, and America's the only thing that counts. And I feel like I've given Canada what?
Is it not?
Well, I mean, I like to learn. I like to know things, and I feel like I'm kind of Canada. I'm not brushed up on my Canadian. I don't know the accents, the differences. I mean, I know where the provinces are, but I feel like I don't know enough about Canada. And I'm going to strive to learn more about the Canadian way of life.
Do you know all the words to "Oh Canada"?
Yes, I
wish you'd have prepared me for this, because I would have had "Oh Canada" playing in the background while you're talking. I feel like I need to know more about our neighbors to the north, and all you hear in the background, "Oh Canada, our home and native land."
It's a great anthem. I love that anthem.
Fantastic anthem. And then you get ours, which is about war and blowing shit up.
I think it's about
taking over.
It's a battle we lost, I think. So, I mean, I think it's more melodic. It's got God. I mean, ours, I think, has God in it, doesn't it? We have like God. In Canada, it's like God save our land. I mean, it's so commanding. Right. It's like God's coming.
Glorious and free.
I mean, come on. That's a beautiful lyric.
I mean, when you're done with it, you literally want to be a Mountie.
Yeah.
Right? You want the hat. You want the whole Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah.
You want the whole Dudley Do-Right costume, the moose, the whole bit.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know enough. So, anyway, so we found out.
What if we give Cutter a half hour of the show every week?
No, he don't count. He's from Toronto.
Who doesn't want to hear that?
He's from Kitchener, which is more like urban. I have
practically Michigan.
Yeah, I need something more. I don't know. I just feel like I have got to learn more about Canada, and I'm going to make a concerted effort. I'm already watching some Canadian TV. I can't make heads.
Next week on the show, Dave Coulier will join. will join us. Dave Coulier
and Bret Hart.
Bret Hart, there you go.
Because I saw Sean made a wrestling reference. Anyway, so that clears that up. Apparently, that guy speaks the way he speaks, which is unfortunate for him.
Right.
So what do you want to talk about? What crisis, what drama do you want to talk about? The Rangers dared to lose last night.
First regulation in like a month and a half. Fans are melting down. They're turning on the goaltender, which I don't understand. This guy's a Vezina winning goaltender. They rode him to the conference finals last year. Few bad games in February, and we're going to turn on this guy like he's Doug fucking Sotart.
As I'll remind you, every time you mention Doug Sotart's name, he did win a
An
Stanley
angel
Cup.
gets his wings.
Yes.
Angel gets his wings.
Every time you mention Doug Sotart. They
Not
basically
one of your better goaltenders, Jim. Doug Sotar.
last night, they basically got Shesterkin 21, last year, the 21-22 season, Shesterkin. They piled 50 shots on net. They peppered the goalie. The other team only got like 15 or whatever they wound up with. And then they blew us out, just like the Rangers did most of last year when they got dominated and would win games. So,
was last night his best game? Absolutely not. Was it one of the worst games we've probably seen him play? Absolutely. Am I worried? No. Why am I not worried? A couple of reasons. One, because it's fucking February. Two, because they continue to win. They're still 8-0-1 or 9-0, whatever it is, in their last 10 games. 8-1-1, 8-2, whatever you want to call it. They're in prime playoff position. If he's playing like this in April, then I'll worry.
Well,
thank you, Greg. Greg Locke bringing the numbers. 25, 24, and 9 in the last 33. 24 and 9. That's a winning percentage of over 992. I just did that in my head. I have no facts to back that up.
Promised you last week. I brought this subject up, and you told me everything was going to be all right, and I'm sticking with you still. But I got to tell you, if things start falling apart, I'm going to have to break my promise to you.
Well, that's fine, but I mean,
I just think there is something going on with this guy. That's just call it a feeling, call it my spidey sense, what have you, my geeky sense.
You might be right. Could just be a mechanics thing. Could be.
I think it's an outside force. I think it's the kid. I don't know what it is. There's something going on outside of hockey. And I feel like his focus is not there. Now, again, I'm still with you because it's early. There's plenty of time for him to be spectacular in the playoffs, and that's all that counts, really. The Rangers are winning, but
I did an article when I still wrote for Blueshirt Banter. I did an article. I mean, obviously, this is going back 10, 12 years. And because I did a little research, and I found that typically the goaltender that gets hot and carries a team through the playoffs starts to turn it on around the first week of March is when they really start heating up. If we get to the end of March and he's still giving up 4 bad goals a game, then I'll say, all right, you know what? We got a problem. But what's the answer? Is Yaroslav Halak taking them to a cup?
Oh, I saw some of that fly by on the socials.
All of a sudden we heart Halak, huh?
I mean, give it a break. I mean, Halak has been, he's been a really good replacement for Georgiev well, go ahead.
I like this right here. Nick stepping up. This is what a fan does right here. I will personally quit my job and full-time babysit that kid if it gets us a cup. That's the kind of commitment I want going into April. None of this, man, goaltender gave up a couple of goals. Get rid of him. Oh, he doesn't come out and talk to the press. I want commitment.
Look, Chris Mead's putting up some good stats right there. Since the All-Star break, over 3 goals against and under 900 save. Again.
It is concerning.
I'm sticking with you, Jim. I'm sticking with you.
So, the solution, I think, is simple. Let's give him a couple of days off. Let Halak play Thursday against Detroit. Halak can come back and play Saturday afternoon against the Capitals, and Igor doesn't play until Sunday night against the Kings.
And
call up a goalie and send Igor home for a few days if you have to. Give him a few true days off if you think it'll get his head on straight, if it will correct the problem. Send him to goalie camp with Benny Allaire for a week, for 4 days, 5 days.
I don't agree. Why are we going to blame the defense, John? They gave up how many shots last night? I mean,
20, right? It was around 20 last night.
20 shots. You gave up 4 goals. It's bad.
He wasn't good last night. No, he was garbage.
I mean,
he was terrible.
The defense stinks in the first period. We can all agree with that. I mean, they can't get out now. It's back to the David Quinn era. You can't get out of the first 5 minutes without giving up 3 goals. I don't think it's the defense. I mean,
21 shots on goal for the Jets last night. You flip-flopped the goaltenders last night. The final score is 10-1.
Yes. Is it worrisome? I guess. Obviously, I brought it up last week, so I'm worried. But again, it's a while. We got a while to sort this out.
Do you think he's not as focused on the game when there's less action?
No,
I haven't really gone back and looked at the over these 5 games that Chris is talking about since the All-Star break, what the shot totals are. But there's some people, I know there's a school of thought out there that Igor's better when he's busier, but I also think they used to say the same thing about Hank.
Yeah, I think that's.
And I have no evidence to back any of that.
Yeah, I don't have evidence either way, and I think that's just like a cop-out.
Well, you got 2 choices. You either send him home for a few days, call up a goaltender and let Halak play until Sunday, because you can't play Halak. You're not going to play Halak Saturday and Sunday. Or you let him play through it, and you just hope it works
They got no other choice.
himself out.
They got no other choice.
Guy's a Vezina winning goaltender, and we know he was good for that. He wasn't a flash in the pan. He didn't peak at 26.
No, I'm not saying that, but I
know you're not. I'm talking about what's going on in the stratosphere.
Okay. Now what's this business he didn't speak? Is this overblown? Or is this real that he didn't speak to reporters? He was out in a huff. Did he fight with Larry Brooks like Dan Boyle did? What happened?
Dan Boyle? He did not come out and speak to the media after the game last night. Now, one of our regular listeners, I don't know if he wants me to say where I got this, so I'll just tell you that one of our regular listeners passed along some information that he received, and I trust this information that he's.
Is this from John Giannone, our faithful listener?
Not from John Giannone.
That hard-hitting reporter.
Let me see. Hold on. Igor's availability has with the media has been poor. He rarely speaks after games and has only come out a couple of times by request. And he hasn't spoken to the media much since the goalie had a shit game comment. It's overblown. Do you care? Do you care? No. Do you care that Igor doesn't come out and say to the media when you know exactly what he's going to say? I had a bad game. I have to be better. How many times have we heard it? It's all the same shit. All I care about is win. That's all I care about. Everything they say after the game, with the exception of a few instances, one of them being Jacob Trouba after the helmet throw game, everything they say is fucking filler. We didn't get it done tonight. We didn't play our game. They were better than us. The puck didn't go in the net. I have to make better plays. We have to make better plays. They're not giving you anything. Nothing. The coach doesn't give you anything. The players don't give you anything. MSG doesn't even bother. Remember, they used to always have an assistant coach on the way to the in between periods. They'd always grab the assistant. They don't even do that anymore because there's nothing there. There's nothing. They're not giving anything.
Well,
the media doesn't ask the right questions, and the players give shit answers. It's all filler. It's all pre-rehearsed filler. What's up, Rock? Happy belated birthday.
Yes, happy belated birthday. I wanted to ask you something, Rock. This is totally off the topic, but while I got you here, I know you have limited time. Do you know where Hook and Ladder 81 is and Engine 82, where that's located at? Okay. That's all I had to ask him. I know where it is, but I want to know if it's still there. Again, Now, some people are saying in the chat room that it is a language problem, that, he doesn't have interpreters and what have you.
Could be.
It is in the Bronx, and you're correct. I'm glad that it's still there. Okay. No. I think you're right. I saw a little. I'm sorry, I'm going off on this tangent, but I saw this little clip of the Bronx is burning. It's like this little 20-minute documentary about the Bronx burning in the early 70s, and
that was an ESPN movie, wasn't it? About the Yankees?
Yeah, this is not about that. This is about the fire company.
Because the ESPN made a documentary and it was all about the Yankees and it was called The Bronx is Burning.
Yeah.
Oliver Platt plays Steinbrenner. That's what I thought you were
talking about. Okay. So I saw it, and it's about the fire department that covered the South Bronx, which is like a fucking war zone in the 70s. Because I used to go in there. My grandfather was from the Bronx. And it was like the shit I saw as like a 10-year-old. Unbelievable. Okay, now let's get back to the Shesterkin thing. Shesty. Why do we really care? Like you said, Shesky. The coach had no problem with him in that game last night. As a matter of fact, he was very happy that the Rangers got all that shots on goal and they had good looks. And you're right. These guys are never going to give you anything that's tangible. So it's the same thing.
I mean, not really. It's all prepared answers.
They've been trained in this stuff. They go to classes and they learn how to handle the media,
especially in New York, especially working for that organization.
So, I feel like there's an outside force going on again. You lose a game, big deal, big whoop. You get back on the fucking horse. And you try again. Come on. Connor Hellebuck played one hell of a game. Do the Hucklebuck.
That he did, the Hucklebuck.
And I love.
And I will go to the mattresses believing that we were the first people to give him that nickname 10 years ago.
The Hucklebuck?
Hucklebuck.
Of course. They all steal. They don't steal from us. They're stealing from Sean McCaff. If they're not stealing from Sean McCaff, they're stealing from Rock and Sean. They steal all these. What else they got to do? Sit at their computer, write an article from home? They watch this, get a consensus, steal our ideas.
You talk about stealing ideas and you talk about people stealing from Sean McCaff. You know how I met Sean McCaff? You know how my introduction to Sean McCaff?
You stole something?
Because do you remember? No, you remember the Henrik Lundqvist Wheel of Blame that I made up? Well, somebody sent it to Sean. Sean put it in his blog, and I found out about it. And I'm like, hey, if you're going to use my stuff, at least give me credit. And he said, hey, look, I didn't know it came from you. I'm sorry. And that was how I met Sean. And now Sean obviously was, he didn't know. I thought he took it from us, but he didn't know who we were at the time.
Well, Valaket also brought up the kid issue. Oh,
well, the Jerky Boys. The Jerky Boys got it. Didn't give it to Hellebuck. The Jerky Boys. They got it. They talked to Juggy Gales and that, who helped write it or something like that.
Well,
anyway,
they all steal.
Ron Kaminsky. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Ron. So, is it a blip? Guess what? We got no choice. We're in it to win it with this guy.
Right. I mean, this is it. What do you say there, bottlenose?
I mean, we have to. It's a ride or die situation. Now,
there's no plan B.
Right, and there shouldn't be. With a Vezina Trophy winner, there should be no plan B.
You just gotta hope he works through it. Like I said, if a month from now, if he's still giving up 3 to 4 every game, then we got a problem. They buried him, that fuck Sinatra. He owes me money. They're doing all the Jerky Boys lines from the
Yes, I
Hucklebuck.
see this. So even
sorry.
Okay.
It's a, you know, I just this is completely off topic. Jerky Boys, I don't think a day in my life goes by where either somebody I know or me myself don't make a Jerky Boys reference of some kind.
I would say I like the Jerky Boys, but at the time I was doing my own prank stuff, which is archived somewhere, that I feel like that was like a G-rated version, and they're very funny. Don't get me wrong. I even thought the Jerky Boys movie wasn't that bad.
The movie had its moments.
The movie had its moments.
Had its moments. It had its moments.
But it certainly was a sensation. So, okay, anyway. Yes.
Get a little bit of everything on this show, folks.
Yeah, you get everything. I'm fire department updates and fucking Jerky Boys lines.
Get a little bit of everything.
So Nicholas Marcoginiad says, that's how I feel about Opie and Anthony. Ramon. Opie and Anthony, yes. Although, I'll save it for later in the show.
You want to sell cars through me or what, Paul?
Yeah.
I could tone it down a little, maybe choke a few people.
All right, okay.
This is going to go on now through the whole rest of the show.
Well, you're going to have to ignore the chat. That's what's going to have to happen. We're going to have no show. And last
How about that Edmonton game?
Well, I don't even want to talk. I still want to stay on this game.
You still want to stay on this game? All right, we're focused on the losses.
Because I know you're going to enjoy this part.
All right.
What about the back and forth between the tag team of Joe and Sammy, Toucan Sammy, who put the Sammy whammy on us last night? Oh, this power play's been struggling.
Yeah, Nosferatu strikes again.
That's
the
right.
Fart Foundation?
Yep. Unbelievable.
The Jets power play is 3 for its last 330. Boom. In goes the puck.
The Sammy whammy.
Nosferatu.
Nostradamus, as he's also known. What a fuck. Doesn't this guy, before I ask you this question, I didn't even know what the question is. I'm so fucking filled with hatred now. Doesn't he know? We live in New York. The Rangers haven't won shit. We think everything's a jinx in our fight. We live and die by the, what do they call that? The not the horns. There's another bad juju. We don't want bad juju. We don't want
Zuzza.
Yeah. What? I'm sure. Yeah, all these names they got for it. And this guy, who I can't say what I really want to say, because what I really say in real life, when he does this bullshit, doesn't he know this is just a no-win thing for him to say? Just don't say it. Just don't say it. It's bad enough. I got to go the whole first period getting the Winnipeg Jet update. Oh, Appleton's just returning to the lineup, Joe. They missed him. Mason Appleton. Fuck Mason Appleton. I don't give a shit about Appleton. I don't even like apples.
Jen had the funniest line last night because right after the Jets scored that power play goal, I'm like, why does he have to do this? Why does he have to? I don't want to hear when the team is struggling because he's just jinxing them. And when we're doing something good, I don't want to hear about it. And she just looks at me. She goes, "What do you want them to say?" Like, say nothing. Just call the game. Just call the game.
Call the game. I don't have to be updated on every stat. I don't have to hear, oh, that was a pass. I know it was a pass. You fucking asshole. I've been watching this game for 50 years. I know what a pass. Oh, when a guy takes a shot and he goes, oh, that was a pass. Yeah, I saw it. You fucking moron. Oh, that was a pass. Oh, Revelation, Sam. A pass from a defenseman to the guy in front of the net. I never seen it before in my life. I thought it was a shot going 1 mile an hour. You fucking goof. I just can't stand him. And then he jigs it to Sammy Whammy. Every time. You don't say it. You just don't say it. And I know in reality, it happens on the ice because some kind of breakdown or whatever. But why does he continually do this? Does he follow social media? Do we have to put hashtag Sammy Whammy to get this guy's fucking attention? So
it's very distracting because they don't stop talking.
And Nick is right. I'm listening to the Calgary game on the radio, okay? Listening to the Calgary announcers.
Okay.
Going into the third period, Calgary's only up a goal. Between periods, the entire in-between periods, and Calgary was going on a power play to start the third. Their announcers are talking about how Calgary's going to get their third goal. They've already picked the guy out. Tyler Toffoli is going to get a shot. It's going to make it 3-1, and it's pro-Calgary. They're like, we struggle in third periods lately, but, I can see Tyler Toffoli. Halak looks shaky, They're going on and on about why do we have announcers that aren't pro-Ranger overtly? And don't tell me it's MSG and all this stuff. I think if you represented James Dolan, who was an arrogant asshole. James Dolan, please leave. Wouldn't you want an arrogant announcing crew? That's what you want to reflect him. I don't know if he owns MSG, the network. I'm not sure about that. But come on. I mean, tickle my balls. Do something. Get me hyped up. Talk about the Tyler Mott signing. Talk about that for the first 20 minutes of the game. Don't talk about the trade. Don't talk about how Julian Gauthier, he belongs on a higher line. A higher line.
He said during the game, Julian Gauthier is a guy who likes to skate and shoot the puck. I look at Jen, I go, we have no use for a guy like that. What are we going to do with a guy like
he
that?
belongs on the. I mean, you're right. Michael, I want to reach around, to stroke my team till it's. I want people predicting Zibanejad's going to score, and then Vagistat is arrogant. You know what he's a know-it-all, and apparently the friction. Joe and Sam, like I started this, they tag team against him because he was the Shesterkin excuse machine. The Rangers weren't getting quality shots, even though they had like 30. They had 20 in the first period. Oh, they're not quality shots. The Winnipeg Jets, the great Winnipeg Jets, by the way, are playing rope-a-dope. I can't even name their coach. Their coach looks like a total doofus. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he is. I don't know where he came from. I know they're doing pretty well. Again, did you hear that back and forth that they were going at it the whole period in the second period?
I didn't hear all of it. I tuned them out as best as I can.
They kept saying, well, Steve, we got to disagree. It's been Hellebuck's been great. And he was Vagistat went on in the fucking between the first and second and said how he throws out these stats. It's a danger zone chances. or you know,
right into the danger zone.
zone, and it's like a 0.1% chance of scoring. So the Rangers really didn't have a lot of opportunities. Meanwhile, Chris Kreider's right in front of the net. Oh, let me tell you, that frustrated. This is why he frustrates me, Chris Kreider. Did you guys see that? He is 2 feet in front of the net. Nobody in front of him. He takes a shot. The guy can't shoot. You know why I know he can't shoot? Guess what part of the game he never participates in? Do you know? The shoot out. It's got the word shoot in it. Okay. So, yes, there was a big we have to disagree with you, Steve. And you know, and they were taking jabs at him as the Rangers were getting some more shots. And Hellebuck played a great game. There's no doubt about it. They got out goalied. That's it. And the power play sucked. Couldn't capitalize when they were supposed to. And, of course, Sammy, the whammy. Oh, the power play's been hot, Joe. Oh, 6 of the last 11. Oh, God. And somebody else mentioned in the chat when the penalty kill hasn't been all that great. Listen, Patty Duke, that was horrible. That was horrible. I cried. Mind-boggling. So, anyway, we can move on to the end of the game. Although I have a couple of notes here written on my cards. What was going on with Morgan Barron high sticking? What was it? Fox, you said, Jim?
I think it was. I seem to remember it was Fox. I could be wrong.
How does that guy not get 5 minutes and thrown out of the game? Now, granted, it wouldn't have saved
No
that
blood.
game. No blood. The guy's head snapped back like it was Thomas Sandstrom and Dave Brown. Give it a break. What are these referees watching? There's 4 of them on the ice.
That's the measuring stick. They checked Fox out, and the referee put 2 fingers up. That was it.
Then Rickles is another thing. Did anybody notice this in the third period? Rickles started mixing up the defensive pairs.
Oh, it was Mott. Thank you.
Oh, it was Mott. Yes, it was Tyler Mott. What? I mean, the guy got fucking lumber in his face. Blatant. Again, the Rangers would have done shit with it anyway, so the point is moot. And then, did you notice that they were chasing D pairs in the third period? I have to see fucking Adam Fox with that fucking Nico Makala. Give me a break. You're really reaching if you're changing the D pairs. That's not the problem. All right, I'm done with this. I'm done with that game. It was a joke. And then that guy sucks, by the way. But that poor Ben Harper.
Which guy? Mikola? You don't like him? You really don't like him?
No, I don't. I mean, he looked okay yesterday. That guy, what's his name? Rico Makala. They keep saying he's aggressive. I saw in Larry Brooks' article, oh, he's aggressive. He adds that. He's not aggressive. He's just big. He's somewhere between Patrick Nemeth and Ben Harper right now in my book. I like Ben Harper, but they're fucking trash. Get away. I guess they want to give this guy ice time so he could play if the depth. All right. Okay. Let's go back to the Edmonton game then. You love that Edmonton game. That was a good
Edmonton game. Come on. It was one for the ages. Payback. Rangers down 4-1. I saw Ranger fans on social media at the end of the first period diving into the bushes.
Oh.
Game's over. Igor sucks. We're going nowhere.
Oh, I love that.
We're going nowhere.
Yes.
Edmonton with three goals in the span of 5 minutes. Rangers answer back. Leon Draisaitl adds a fourth goal. Rangers go into the second period down 4-1.
My hatred.
Getting lots of chances against
ahead.
Jack Campbell, who we know stinks.
You're going
Stinks.
nowhere.
And I told our group in our group thread after the second period, when the Rangers were down at that point, what was it? 4-2. I said they are winning this game. And sure enough, Rangers come back with 2 in the third and then win it in a long shootout.
John Kay is exactly right. Shesterkin was unbelievable in that shootout. I mean, he stopped everybody. Mike Rupp, you know who I am I'm maybe him and Tom Hardy might be in my bro crush area. Not area, but you know what I'm saying.
If you were ever to dip a toe into the man pond, as you like to say.
No chance of that. No homo. I mean, you know, that's right for some other people, but me, I've already gone one way. I'm too old to go another way. So anyway, Mike Rupp says, Ranger fans, don't worry, because Edmonton is always looking for the next one. They have no concern about winning the game. They're just looking to get the next goal and the next goal. They have no interest in playing defense. And that's the case. And with a suspect goalie, you know, a mediocre goalie, I had faith. I continued to have faith. And it worked out that way. And Shesterkin played really good. And Jim, I know I'm going on a lot of rants tonight. But this McDavid, I know he's a generational talent. I know he's the best player in the NHL. Okay, hands down, he's light years better than any of these guys. Even Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is a prolific goal scorer, but McDavid's just a force. Okay? And I'm not going out on a limb saying that. But I fucking hate this guy. I hate his face. I hate what comes out of his mouth. During the All-Star game, which nobody watched, not the All-Star game, but the skills, they asked him what nickname he would be most comfortable with. PK Slewfoot asked him that question, and they gave him a couple fucking choices. And he says, McJesus, I'm most comfortable with. Now, I'm not a religious man. I don't think you're, I don't think you're a religious guy. I mean, maybe you are. I don't know. We never really had that deep of a discussion. I knew you were Amish for a while, but then we had to use electric for the show, so you had to.
Right. I had to convert.
This fucking, you want to talk about arrogant? You're going to call yourself McJesus? How about you play some McDefense? Your team, get some McGoaltending. Get some McBackchecks. Your team sucks. You're going nowhere. You can get him and I like Draisaitl because he don't got no ego. This guy, he's doing fucking things with Gretzky and all this bullshit. I don't like him. I don't have to like him. I don't have to like him. All right, so people don't want to hear about that. They want to talk about Jake Lecision and his wonderful play.
Those of you asking the question in the chat room, I do believe the Rangers are making at least one more move. They cannot. They simply cannot. Please, God, there, I'll get religious for you. Please, God, do not take this team into the playoffs with Jake fucking Lecision as their fourth line center. What? He shucks. He stinks. Come on.
Wow, come on. We got a problem with him.
I'd rather drag Brian Boyle out of retirement and let him play the fourth line. How's that?
I don't understand. What's the beef? I mean, He's
stinks.
a good role player.
He stinks.
But he fills a need.
What need?
What?
It's Brian fucking Boyle.
I mean,
He stinks.
what? They signed him for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, thank God. Oh, no,
Lock him
Joe.
up.
Maybe he's going to run for mayor of Hartford.
I agree, Frankie. Ben Harper, fourth line center.
I'd rather have Ben. Yes, I would take Ben Harper. I would take Valerie Harper.
Right.
I would
I'd
take
take
Harper
Pat
Valley
Harper.
PTA. Pat Harper.
Oh, wow. That's really Channel 11 News.
With Steve
I don't
Bosch.
see where they. I mean, I'll be. I want to be like the devil, not the devil's advocate, but like the Ranger, rose-colored. Well, what do you want? He's on the fourth line. I mean, he only gets 5 minutes. There's a question: Ryan Carpenter or Jake Lecision? Johnny Brodzinski was better. Johnny Brodzinski was better than both of them. Okay.
All I know is I just feel like we just keep chugging out these bums. On
Rejects.
this fourth line. And rejects. Greg McKegg, Ryan Carpenter, Johnny Brodzinski, Jake Lecision. What do they all have in common? They all stink. Oh, they skate well, Joe. Okay, so did Eric Hayden. Do we want him on the fourth line?
I agree. Well, I mean, now the dancing Larry Brooks was floating the other day, and we got to talk about this. Was I saw the Sopranos comment. I cracked up. He has this whole master plan of us getting Patrick Kane. Can we just all collectively say no to the Patrick Kane thing? Because I'm sorry, if you're a Ranger fan and you still want Patrick Kane and you want to give up, and I know we don't develop them, but if you want to give up prospects, forward prospects, and all this stuff to get this guy at this juncture, the Rangers should be able to win the Stanley Cup with the first 3 lines consistent. They just need a little dab of Dewey on the fourth line. You get Shesterkin back the way he was playing, and the Rangers can make a good run. Okay? I don't need Patrick Kane on this team for that. He can cry and he can,
Regardless of whether I want Patrick Kane or not, my gut tells me he's going to be here.
No.
I'm not saying I want him. There are a lot of Ranger fans whose opinions I value that do want him here.
Why? Because he got a hat trick the other night?
I guess for me, it all comes down to cost. Now, with Patrick Kane narrowing this down to either playing for the Rangers or playing for the Rangers, that certainly lowers the price. Now, if the Rangers can get a third team involved who will just who will just take on so much salary for a draft pick, and if it's, and if Drury can pull another one of these rabbits out where he doesn't give up valuable assets, then
if they ask now watch, I'll mention Will Cooley or Brendan Doffman, and all of a sudden nobody wants to do the trade. But you mentioned Zach Jones, everyone wants to do the trade.
Othman, no. Zach Jones or Cooley, sure, why not? Look, it's obvious. At least I think it's obvious. They are in go for it mode. They are making a run, and they're making a run this year.
Well, Jim, as you know, I've made
just locking down Ben Harper for 2 years tells me this team knows that the Ben Harper window is closing. The Mikko window is closing.
Jim, as you know, I have been right. How many times have I been right? about player
All of them.
acquisitions.
All
of them.
All
Throughout
of
the
them.
14 years of this show,
Every
I
time.
have called. I have won the white carnation every time. As
Every
a matter
time.
of fact, I believe we have a clip of, once again, the Swami.
It's all right. That's in every contract. That's what they call a sanity clause. You can't fool me. There ain't no sanity clause. Well, you win the white carnation.
That just never stops being. For those of you that don't understand the white carnation reference, that's where it comes from. And every night, whoever's first in the game thread gets awarded the "You Win the White Carnation" award.
Right. And that comes from the old radio days when they used to have like little quizzes and stuff. They would give away a white carnation to the audience, the live audience, if they answered the question right or whatever. Well, you win the white carnation. So since
You win the white carnation.
Since I have been right so many times.
Every time.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Except
your yard looks like the botanical gardens out there in the Bronx or Brooklyn, wherever it is. It's just a field of white carnations. Where all the times you've been right.
It's true. It's true.
You're right so many times you're making a left. That's how many rights you've made.
Maybe on the prospects I've been wrong. I think some Russian guy I was wrong about. But usually
Sharapanov, you were wrong about.
Yeah, well, unfortunately.
Too soon?
No, it's not too soon. But people loving the soundboard. And I thought about it in the last show. The soundboard should make more, but Jim's doing enough stuff. But the soundboard, we should hammer that a bit more.
Well, I feel like the soundboard we're a little lacking on new clips. So a lot of it's I don't want to just reuse the same clip over and over. I like new stuff. It needs a tweak, is what it needs. A little, and some of these Sam clips have gotten a little dated because the players aren't here anymore. Things like that. So
okay. Well,
but anyway,
all right. So merely 6 days ago, on this program, as my mother used to say, I'm watching my programs.
Watching my stories.
I'm watching my stories. Get out of the way. I'm watching the stories. Let's go to a video clip and see what you heard. First of all, you guys are top notch. You're top drawer, as they used to say in the 20s. You guys know this stuff just as well as I do. I probably got the idea through osmosis from you, or I just stole it. So here we go. Let's go back to merely 6 days ago. So I would love to see them get, what's his name? Tanner Jeannot? I don't know if that's his first name. It's Tyler Tanner. I don't know. Tanner. Or, and I hate to go back to the let it go, but Tyler Mott. Mott could fill the spot. A little more grit on that fourth line.
Swami hits it again. He hit it again. He was right with Tarasenko and now Tyler Mott. So we welcome the Swami into the show, and maybe the Swami tells us who's coming next.
I will tell you what's going to happen. First, the Rangers will add the piece. It will be a fourth line piece. That is it. There will be no Patrick Kane. No Patrick Kane. And I hope Larry Brooks, dancing Larry Brooks in his infinite wisdom, that infidel is right. Send Krasov down. Nobody wants him. He clears waivers. The Rangers clear cap space and acquire the services of the man in the aforementioned video, Tanner Jeannot. Then you have your peace. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Swami.
Oh, good.
Remember, you heard it here first. Tyler, you got the Mott's. Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yes. So
You're never wrong. You're never wrong.
I don't know. I could be wrong on this. I don't know if that everybody. I don't listen. From I see the comments about Kravtsov. They said the interest in Kravtsov, and I've never seen this, is soft. Is that a dig at Kravtsov again? And it's speaking of which with Kravtsov, there are some Ranger fans. You would think he killed a member of your family. You hate this guy more than what did this kid do? I mean, he hasn't even. He didn't put a puck in his own net. He didn't cost us a fucking playoff game.
Did he walk on the logo in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, right. You would think they're hanging him on the cross. Get him, he's a piece of shit. Oh, my God. I mean, you have had worse Rangers than this, and I haven't seen half the fucking. Now, I know there's a faction of these young kids, these young upstarts, these fireside blue shirts or whatever they call them. These that all like, he doesn't get a chance. He got his chance. Goodbye. Get out of here, you bum. But the vitriol that is whole at this guy. Again, I'm not part of the Kravtsov defense squad, but you guys got to slow your roll. I mean, I know he left and he took his toys and he went home. The Rangers are the worst at communication with anybody. I don't even know. You know why they acquire so many Russians, Jim? So they can translate to each other. Because nobody can translate fucking Russian in that fucking goddamn fucking organization. Because they got a bunch of fucking Americans in there with your Jed Ortmeyers and your fucking your Michael Ruzionis and the rest of them.
Michael Ruzioni.
So that's what I think they should do. But they do need a center. Rock is right. I don't know what the market is. Look at that. Yeah, I keep hearing Crowder can speak 5 languages, but he can't shoot. Well, I like the Russians. I've always had a mystique with the Russians. I mean, do you think he clears waivers, Jim, or is that just a...
I don't think he does.
First of all, he's labeled a malcontent. He's Russian, which malcontented Russians are like, nobody wants to deal with that.
It costs you nothing to grab him off waivers.
But what is he got? 3 goals, 3 assists? He is nothing. I understand that, but what team is going to claim him? I don't know. Teams are selling.
Whoever the Rangers play in the Stanley Cup Finals will claim him. That's where he'll end up.
I don't know.
But Vitaly Kravtsov leads the Kraken to the Stanley Cup Championship over the Rangers in 7 games with 3 goals in Game 7.
Okay. A lot of people saying no way.
The Bud Light blue seats are on fire as the Kraken circle the ice with the cup.
Gerard Gallant is. Let's go live to Gerard Gallant.
Gerard Gallant is wiping his ass with the Adam Graves banner.
All right. I got shot down with if you want Patrick Kane, he's got to be sent down. That's how they get the cap room. So then the Patrick Kane thing is shot too.
Well, unless he goes the other way, no?
Well, that's true. Yes.
Traded in the deal.
I don't know.
They got to get I guess they got. I don't understand. I guess they got to get a third team involved in this point. Somebody to pick up salary, like St. Louis, Toronto, and St. Louis did. They got I think Minnesota involved in that deal.
I think so. Ryan O'Reilly.
Right.
Well, that's
essentially what it comes down to is somebody just puts up a lot of money to buy draft picks. I don't know how the league allows that to happen, but the answer is because it's the NHL.
Again, I don't care about Kravtsov. He's an afterthought. I want this team to have the best team going into the playoffs. His development here is done.
Whatever he's going to be somewhere else because he has no shot with this team. The coaches are going to play him, and the GM don't want him. He has no shot here. It's done. It's over. It's not.
And he also, I don't think he played well this year. In this limited time that he played, he didn't look the same. I think he's fucking shot. Okay, enough of this fucking guy. Now
we got what, another 2 weeks? 2 weeks to the trade deadline. Deadline's the 6th. Is that right? It's usually
March 7th, March 6th.
Trade deadline 2023. Oh, Friday, March 3rd. Oh, it's a Friday. Okay.
Dominic
Monday
saying for a fourth line, I wouldn't admit Bukestad or Nick Bonino.
Sounds like Bukestad has a lot of interest, though. So I don't know. I don't know if the Rangers were in a position to outbid
I mean, the
anybody.
Swami did not mention him,
right?
But you never
So
know.
it's not happening.
Next broadcast, he may. Now that he got some alternatives, and we'll have to give Dominic credit.
Well, then we'll get Dominic in here, and he'll put the hat on.
Ron Kaminsky says that Kravy is going back to the KHL for some of that borscht. He'd rather play in Siberia than play in New York. That shows you exactly where he is.
Right. Is Howie, is Pronger still on somebody's long-term injured reserve? I know it was like 3 years after he played his last game. He was still on somebody's LTIR.
Somebody told me that I think I read it in the group that Artem Anisimov is playing with the Flyers minor league team.
I told you that.
You told me that.
Yes.
Wow.
Hartford was just here the other night. Beat the Lehigh Valley Phantoms 5-4.
And I know.
Winning goal, Libor Hadjic. And a hat trick from Gustav Rydal.
Maybe they should bring. We like this guy from camp. Is he a center?
He is.
Why don't they give this guy a shot? They give every other dummy a shot. This guy, I liked what I saw. Yeah, I saw McElrath is he might get a call up by the Caps.
I think he did, didn't he?
I think he might have. Ron Kaminsky with an update. Canadians are up on the Devil Dogs 2-1.
Excellent.
Anyways, I got to tell you, it's
good crowd here
SRO.
tonight.
A good crowd tonight.
Good crowd. We like it. We've got people watching us on Twitch. They're watching us on YouTube. They're watching us on the Facebook.
I love it.
I like it.
What else went on that Edmonton game that you liked? You just like the...
Well, I mean, how about, you talk about Shesterkin, being off his game, but meanwhile, all he did in that shootout was stop Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Kyler Yamamoto in the shootout. I mean, that's, Edmonton's had the number one overall 15 years, except for the Lafreniere pick, right? Running at you, and Igor stopped them all.
Hey, played terrific in that game. Nobody's remembering that game. Well, people
Canadians have scored again and now lead 3-1.
All right, Ron, you have to stay in the chat room. You're good luck now. You're good juju.
Are we getting is Alexei Lafreniere starting to put it together? We gotta start wondering. He had a goal in that Edmonton game. He had a goal in the Calgary game, didn't he?
The broken stick.
And the shootout winner.
I don't know. I got very
that Calgary game, by the way. Oof, what a dreg. Rangers had absolutely nothing. It was amazing that I'm sorry, that was one of the most amazing points they will ever earn. They had nothing in the tank in that game. I mean, they were exhausted.
Yeah, that was Saturday night, right?
Yes.
So let me tell you a little story about Saturday night.
All right.
My band, Idiot Box, is about to hit the stage.
Right.
The TV to the side with the Ranger game on. Just getting ready and putting the set list down for all the other band members. And all I hear is, fucking ridiculous. Fuck. He's pounding like a maniac. My good friend, Costalatus. I go, what are you getting so worked up? It's do nothing. I go, calm down. I'm like, it just started. The Rangers always come back. Right. But he had a bad day. Costa was having a bad day. So I give him a pass. His car had to be fixed. Cost him $300. And I'm saying to myself, now $300 to me is like for a car repair. I think you're getting away pretty good, don't you think?
It's a lot of cheddar, yeah, but it's a lot of cheddar.
It's a lot of cheddar. And and I love Costa. Costa, he comes to every one of my shows. He's the best fucking audience you could have. He got me off kilter there. He's flipping out over the fucking 2-0. And then I didn't realize that it was like 2 goals in like 2 minutes. And then I started getting all fucking flustered. I'm like, it's like.
It was 2 goals in the first minute of the game, first 46 seconds.
I mean, is this a problem I got to worry about? These early goals? Is this going to be a continuing thing? Is there anything you're seeing, the fans at home, the people here in the chat room seeing what happens? Are they just not mentally prepared?
I don't know. I just think it was one of those things.
Yeah. All right. There it is. You've switched to the viewing party. March 11th.
Coming up.
It is. Even I shocked Costa when I said it was 3 weeks away last Saturday. He was like, really? Ooh, really? And I said, yeah, man. And he got all super excited. I got super fucking jazzed.
18 days away.
Can't wait.
Saturday, March 11th. Rangers taking on the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. We will be at McHale's Bar and Grill, 251 West 51st Street, near 8th Avenue, right on 51st Street, across from the theater where Wicked is playing. Raffles, giveaways, drink specials, food specials. We are raffling off an authentic Adam Fox home jersey upstairs in the bag. If it does, purchased from the MSG store. If it doesn't fit, you'll have the receipt. You can exchange it. You can go right to the store before you leave the city that night and exchange your jersey. So somebody's going home with that. We'll have some other stuff to give away. And it's always a good time. There's going to be a huge crowd. We've got a lot of newcomers coming this time. The Catronis are flying up from Florida to attend their first viewing party.
Well, I got something to tell him. You better watch out. I'm looking at his wise ass remarks, busting my balls. We got
a lot of newcomers. It's going to be a blast. You'll get to meet Costa, the Johnerts, Matt Morello, Matt Zenobia is going to be there. Robbie Guy Lombardo is going to be there.
The birthday boy.
I mean, it's a fantastic group. It's loud. It's boisterous. It's raunchy.
And the theater crowd, they're
appalled. They're appalled by us.
They're appalled. Well, I never, and you never will. Wait till they get a load of us. Them boys, them girls are coming to town, screaming and shouting and cursing, and it's just total debauchery when we get together.
Yes, it's going to be an excellent day. I can't wait. All the girls are coming with me.
Oh, good. I'll be glad to see
First time
them.
they're all attending the same viewing party together.
Oh, momentous.
So,
yeah,
it'll be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
What else?
So
we got?
let me throw at you a little show research I did.
All right,
Something
before we do that, can I just say one thing about Lafreniere? I got really disappointed. I got really disappointed when they said Alexei Lafreniere, that's his 10th goal of the season. It really hit me how much he struggled this year, but he has been playing better lately. But I can't get them all playing like Philip Hedl now. Remember how we were all Hedlized there for a while? Now he's kind of he gets chances, and then Kakko I just want it all to work at the same time. That's my final thought on that. Now, you did some show research.
Yes.
And what did you find out?
And this concerns Yaroslav Halak.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about it, and as everybody knows, let me see. I don't know if I can share. So, in the beginning of the season, Yaroslav Halak was wearing this mask, kind of a Loch Ness monster theme to it.
Yes.
Right. And as it turned out, I went and did the numbers on this mask.
Okay.
When he wore this mask for 8 games, and in those 8 games, he was 1-7 with a 3.05 goals against average and an .887 save percentage.
Can I stop you for a second?
You can stop me for a second.
Look for this in either Molly Walker's, Larry Brooks, Bobby Sanguinetti's, whoever's blog, that this is going to come up. This will come up in the printed media tomorrow. Jim, go ahead with your excellent research.
So after his 8th game of the season, which was the loss to Chicago, the Trouba helmet game, right? I believe. Do I have that right? Yes, 5-2 loss. After that game, he switched to this mask, which is the mask he is now wearing. I couldn't find a really good picture of him actually wearing it, but this was when it was created. This was a release on Twitter or something. In this new mask, Eddie, Halak is 7-1. He's flipped the 1-7 to 7-1 with a 2.00 goals against and a .924 save percentage.
Unbelievable find and research by you. What?
Now do I think the masks have anything to do with it? No, but I just thought it was interesting that ever since he switched masks, that's when he got hot.
What was the impetus for you to research this? What went off in your mind?
Well, because it occurred to me that, early in the season, I knew he changed masks at some point. And I'm like, it seems like, and I started thinking about it the other night when he played. I'm like, it seems like it was right around when his mask switched that his season turned around. And sure enough, it was.
That's a great observation.
But I mean, I don't know. Does that have anything to do? Was one have anything to do with the other? I don't know. Maybe just getting
goalies are superstitious. I mean, they're the most superstitious out of them all.
They are superstitious. That they are.
I mean, all hockey players are. Wait, yeah. Now, guess what? If fucking Sammy the Whammy picks up that stat, it's going all down the fucking toilet. He'll put the Sammy Whammy on it.
Right. That mask will break.
Now, the mask will break.
The mask will break.
Like JD's
shatter in half.
That's what happened to JD's Lone Ranger mask. It cracked.
Yep.
Okay, let me ask you this. We touched upon this before. I mean, there are some Ranger fans, because I've read it, so it's got to be true, that are a little disappointed that Julien Gauthier is not a part of the organization anymore. That he really didn't get a chance. I know how you kind of feel about him, but I think you kind of we're giving him more of a chance this year than years past. What do you think we lost anything?
Again, he's another guy who it just wasn't going to happen for him here. The coach wasn't going to give him the what's the word? Consistent ice time. It just wasn't going to happen for him. I still think he's going to be a good player. I think there is talent there, and he can skate.
Well, here's a guy who was a first-round pick by the Hurricanes. They let him loose, and you could see how when you're picked in the first round and they jettison you. Usually, it's Elias Anderson time. With the Rangers, I saw some things that I liked, but I knew in the beginning of the season and in camp, the Rangers were looking for more of a physical Julien Gauthier because he's a big guy. He's got, who can skate. And they wanted him to be a little more physical. And I think he was to a bit in the beginning of the season, but he's a skill player. And there really isn't any room for the Rangers as far as skilled positions. The first three lines are impenetrable. So you got to play fourth line. And you got to play with fucking Jake Lecision and Ryan Carpenter and any other Johnny Brodzinski and any other anybody but Gustav Rydell. You got to play with those. So listen, but I really think this guy is just. I think even with Ottawa, he's just not going to be anything. But he could be. I could be wrong. His situation here wasn't that great. But am I worried that this acquisition is going to bite us in the ass of Tyler Mott in lieu of losing the great?
No, I'm not worried about it.
No, I'm not one bit worried about it. But please, and where are you mentioned the Wolfpack before? Are the Wolfpack even close to the playoffs or something? I mean, are they doing anything down there? I mean, they got Libor Hayek now, so that's an improvement.
All coming together for them. They are currently in 7th place in the Atlantic Division. 51 points. They are 21-20-3.
It's just never good.
They are now 4 points behind the Phantoms, who stink. The Phantoms stink, and somehow they have fallen behind the Phantoms. Only the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins are worse than the Wolfpack in the Atlantic Division.
It just never ends.
Providence Bruins are doing as well as the Boston Bruins. They're dominating the AHL.
I just don't. I don't know. I have nothing to say about that organization. Continually stinks. Let's put it this way: there are no Tidewater Tides. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's not a development for. It's not a place of development. It's nothing but retreads and
older players. I guess
retreads and guys that are never going to make a significant. I shouldn't say all of them, but a lot of guys who are never going to make a significant impact in the NHL. Guys like Johnny Brodzinski, who are 28, 29 years old. Although word is Zach Jones is straightening out his game down there.
I tell you, the kid's got a lot of talent. He just didn't look good when he came up here. That happens. I thought the same thing of Niels Lundqvist. I mean, he's been okay with Detroit. So his initial foray looked kind of like he doesn't really fit. I don't know. Brooks said something like, wouldn't it be, I think I read this correctly, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that he kind of likes the Schneider-Jones pairing because of Jones' skating ability, which I think Brendan Schneider, Brendan Schneider is, I think he's got great offensive upside. He's been kind of, and this is my again my opinion. Obviously, it's coming out of my fucking mouth. That I feel Schneider's play has decreased playing with Nico Makela there, as opposed to Ben Harper. I feel like Schneider was confident playing with Harper, and we got to see a little bit more offense from Schneider.
Yeah, I think he's getting used to Mikkola, but I thought Schneider played better last night.
Yeah, I thought even the Nico played pretty good in that game, but I felt like they knew each other, and you know, but listen, they got to get these guys playing with the team in order to go to the playoffs. If somebody gets hurt, somebody's got to step in, and I like Schneider. That's why he makes Zach Jones, I think, expendable. But again, I know he's small and he's not the big guy, but the guy's got offensive talent. But right now, the Rangers, he's never going to play on the power play. He's really not the prototypical third defenseman as far as I'm concerned. He's Neil Pionk. I believe like he's going to be like his ceiling is going to be Neil Pionk, which isn't bad. But right now, as the Rangers are consistent, he's got no place to play. But, you know, let's hang on to him. We might need him down the line when some of these guys move. Let him, what's the word? Let him,
Fester?
Not fest.
Let him fester.
You know, when you put let him marinate for a while.
Let him marinate. Let him gestate.
Yeah. Let's not all fucking jump on the Zach Jones's trash because he played 20 games and showed nothing. I mean, not everybody makes an immediate impact. And did you see I think they said Schneider was in his 100th game the other night?
Yes.
I don't know why. I think he's played less. I don't know why I have it in my head that he's played less.
Amazingly came up and never went back. Like much like Ryan McDonough.
Yes, I used to call it Neil Stionk. That was more of, I hated that people were promoting him, that a lot of the, the prospects guys, they're always like, every prospect is great. And I really didn't feel that way. Remember he had that beautiful goal as a Ranger. I'll never forget that. He spinorama in his own zone and went all the way. Yes, and I agree, Dominic. Mikkola did look better against Winnipeg.
I agree
but
with that.
Yeah, and he did drew that penalty. That's right. All right. I'll get off his case for a while. All right. So that's pretty much the story, Morning Glory. Did you have anything to add?
I really don't.
I'm trying to think. What have I got? That's all I got. I mean, we talked a little bit about Mott. There was now Sean mentioned that his exit interviews weren't the greatest, but he looks like he's pleased as punch to be here. And everything I heard was, he knows the way. He got to practice early. He got to the game early, practice early.
First one there.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to go. He knows the locker room, the core locker room.
He's got his number this time around.
Yeah, so I great acquisition.
Wearing Mike Allison's old number.
Yep, Mike Allison. Don Murdoch's.
Don Murdoch was number 14.
Oh yeah. So that's all I got. And I'm glad that's all I got. I think we packed a lot into an hour and a half.
We always do.
And you guys are incredible in this chat room, man. I'm telling you. Had us laughing. If you see me smile, I'm trying not to laugh at something Soprano related, Jerky Boys related, or even the Ranger related stuff is great. So you guys always enchanting. Messin Gretz says the Rangers have 11 games at home.
Comedy of errors there.
11 games at home, 14 on the road. The Icelanders, the Fish Sticks, dealt a mighty blow as Matthew Barzal is now
week to week. I'm hearing
week to week put on IR. I heard maybe
according
out
to
indefinitely.
sources.
Oh boy. Glub, 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 glub. And they've played like 5 more games than every other team, too. Team's got crazy games. Couldn't happen to a bunch of better jerks. But couldn't happen to, whatever.
More deserving franchise.
Yes. Loses. Are they going to blame it on COVID this time again?
Just wait till they get a new arena.
Barzy.
They'll straighten
All
that
right.
franchise out.
So,
all right. Is that it?
That's it, Robin.
Are we ready to wrap this up?
Yep, they got what they deserve, Howie. You want the money? Have fun in Anaheim, motherfuckers.
All right. Rangers have Detroit coming up Thursday night. Washington Saturday afternoon. And then the LA Kings Sunday, 5 o'clock back at the Garden.
Uh-oh, Paul Caduzzi watch.
February.
Put Paul Caduzzi on suicide watch Sunday.
Yes, he is not fond of the Los Angeles Kings. All right, thanks everybody for being here. For you guys, Eddie, always a pleasure. Great show. And
right back
we'll see
at
you guys
next
week.
Thanks for coming out. Take care.
Good night, everybody.